Sure, that's a great question. Yeah, so there is this space that's here all the time. It's this quiet, empty space. And perhaps you can feel it right now. Just like in this room right now. There's a spaciousness, there's an emptiness, there's a quiet, there's a silence. This is what I call freedom. It's here in every moment. No matter if you have money or no money. No matter if you're at a job you hate or a job you love. There's always this quiet sense of spacious freedom. So it's both in the room, in the sky, but also if you look at awareness, it's just like the quiet presence looking out of your eyes. That space is already free. That perspective is already free. Before you think, before you judge, before you say, I like this and I don't like that, you're just in this moment right here. Can you feel what I'm speaking about?
Yeah.
Just like this very quiet sense of aliveness, this quiet sense of spaciousness. And so out of that quiet arises your mind. And the mind in general is a complainer. It seeks pleasure, it avoids pain. It has all these programs conditioned into it. And so spiritual freedom is about waking up to this unborn nature. It's a nature that's beyond, say, the relative world. And so when you wake up to this space, you can experience freedom anywhere and everywhere, despite what your body's saying, despite what your bank account says, despite what your partner says. And so the sages throughout time, they've spoken about this space. And the invitation was to join them in this space. And so that's what's called absolute freedom. Now, of course, being a human being, it's a confusing thing. It can be a painful thing. It can be a difficult thing. And the old teaching is if you listen to your mind, if you allow your mind to define reality, judge reality, you will suffer. So the first teaching is can you unhook from your mind and just step into this direct experience of quiet, of silence, of spaciousness. And live from this place, no matter where you are. Whether you're in prison, whether you're in this room with me, or whether you're floating down the river, or whether you're swinging a pick. So there's that. And then of course there is, it'd be crazy for me to absolutely deny the relative world. There is a relative world. And so say perhaps right now you're struggling with money. You're not making enough. And so you're doing jobs that you hate so you can make money. So this is the great paradox, is this world happens in vast, empty, spacious freedom. And this world is also an evolutionary world, a relative world. And so if you go and do a job that's not in alignment with your truth, with your heart, part of you is going to be complaining inside, saying, I'm not living up to my highest. I'm not manifesting my truth in this world. Does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so part of the thing that we have to accept about this life, that could be nice if we, we're born babies and we just, at some point we realize that I'm an artist, and so, we come of age and then we become an art, and then people just pay us great money for our works of art, right? That would be wonderful. But what this world is, and that's where we're growing towards. But this is a world of growth. And so one of the stages that we go through, is having to learn to work very hard. Learning to sacrifice, learning to give, learning our value, our worth. So when you do a job that you hate, because you need to, say you're 18 and you live with mom and dad, and you kind of live under their house, their authority, their rules. But as you step out into the world, you begin to learn about independence. You begin to learn about making it on your own. So most of us, we have to go through this difficult stage, learning to work, and learning to sacrifice, learning to grow into our higher nature. And because it's an evolutionary world, it takes time. It takes time. But if you hold this space of freedom while you're simultaneously growing, the growth is much easier. It's much more doable. But if you just hold the space of freedom and forget about the truth in your heart that says, I want to be an artist, even if you experience total freedom, in your humanity there's always going to be this silent thing within you saying, isn't there more to life than just this emptiness, than just this peace?